Shit from ALL-CAA to LV, I'm a Raider.
Raider Nation, what is going on? You are watching the Raiders Report, and today's show presented by my good friends Black Sunday Shop. If you like the shirt I got on, if you like this shirt over here, if you're looking to go ahead and collect some awesome Raiders gear, go to blacksundayshop.com. Make sure that you use code DRAFT where you can save 20% off, because this is the thing, this deal is only going to last until midnight tonight, so you better go ahead and get yourself some Raiders gear. All right, y'all, so what are we doing on today's show here on the Raiders Report? We're going to be giving you a Las Vegas Raiders UDFA tracker. So we're going to be walking through, telling you all the players that the Raiders have signed, and at the end of the draft, they had 78 guys on the roster, which means you can go out and sign 12. As it stands right now, only 10 players have signed, so if the Raiders go out and sign 2 more dudes, I'm going to keep you updated. For the first player here, we're going to talk about Dillion Stoner, 6', 200-pounder, wide receiver from Oklahoma State. Some of the positives here: reliable possession receiver with solid complement at OK State. He plays pretty smart, right? You're going to see a lot of these guys are going to be versatile, heads-up type of football players. He does find a way to separate. He can make tough catches in the crowd, which is something I know Gruden's going to like. Strong hands, good at tracking the ball. Some of the negatives here: lacks deep speed, isn't a great vertical receiver, slow releasing off the line of scrimmage where he could struggle a little bit. The numbers over there: 42 catches, 537 yards, 4 touchdowns. And this is a guy, though, that I think might actually have a shot of making the roster. All right, y'all, are y'all hitting that? I mean, I got this porn stash rocking right now, and y'all better be hitting that. Subscribe to the Raiders Report for free videos the entire off season. I actually had a few other Raiders content creators message me on IG. It was like, wow, the amount of content that y'all put out over the last 3-4 days is incredible. But it's because here at the Raiders Report, here at Chat Sports, we have a commitment to excellence. We want to be the #1 most watched show, and that takes a lot of hard work, but it also takes an amazing audience. So if you could, hit that big red button that says subscribe. We're about like 100 subs away from getting to 78K. I'd really appreciate it if we got there. Look at this hairdo here. I absolutely love it. Garrett Groshek, and he is a running back / tight end, if you will, from Wisconsin. He is always where he's supposed to be, which is something that I know Gruden likes. He rocks as a good pass protector, reliable hands, and he has some special team experience, which is probably going to be the way that he ends up making this team. A lot of people are going to get Alec Ingold vibes. He's not quite the athlete that Ingold was. His weaknesses: below average NFL athlete, doesn't have a ton of wiggle, and not that great of speed. He's the type of player, though, that's going to outwork everyone, and if he can really take seat and see what a guy like Ingold did, that's what you're really trying to be here. But I'm actually not quite sure if Groshek actually ends up making our roster. Let's go to this guy here, Darius Stills, 6', 285-pound, which is actually pretty undersized for a defensive tackle out of West Virginia. The burst, the quickness, the disruption, even though he's undersized, and sometimes when you look at him, you're like, wow, I can't believe this guy's actually playing DT. He's like a lesser version of Mo Hurst, in my personal opinion, but he is a good athlete for that size. When you talk about the lower body as well, it's like thick. And I'm not talking T-H-I-C-K. I'm talking like thick with 2 C's type of lower body. 20, 25 tackles, 3.5 sacks. Again, some of the better things, struggles against the tougher blockers. He could struggle a little bit here in the NFL, but I will say he has a chance to make the roster as like this DT 5, 6, potentially 7th guy, since they did decide to move on from somebody like Mo Hurst. This is a high-quality name right here. This is somebody who should have a mustache like I have. Matt Bushman, 6'5", 240-pounder, tight end from BYU. The reason why I'm curious about this guy is this: did not play in 2020, had a pretty bad injury, which is why I'm showing you the 2019 numbers. However, when you look at 2019, 2018, and 2017, he actually led BYU in receiving all 3 of those years. The downside: 25 years old, so he's in a little bit of an older prospect, but he's got pretty good hands. He has a chance to make this roster as the 3rd tight end. The bad, obviously the ruptured Achilles tendon in 2020, a little bit older, not the best athlete, and like, let's face it, the Raiders tight end room is pretty solid. If you guys are looking for some of my favorite Raiders gear on the market, Black Sunday Shop is hooking y'all up. I tell people all the time that when I go out in public, I wear a lot of Raiders gear. Sometimes my girlfriend, makes fun of me here and there, especially when I look like this. But I think that they have some of the cleanest, nicest gear on the market. And if you use code DRAFT at blacksundayshop.com, you can save 20%. But I'm just going to say this right now. This deal ends midnight tonight, so you better hurry on up. And they messaged me. They said, hey, man, the inventory's getting a little bit thin. You guys have been selling these off the shelves, so if you see something, I want you to go get it because it might not be there for very long. And if you're out there, you're a big-time fan of collecting stuff, they have a bunch of different gear here, also with the collectible boxes. There's not too many companies that have as high-quality Raiders gear and are a creative mind as Black Sunday Shop. I want to give them some love. BlackSundayShop.com, code DRAFT to save 20% off. The next UDFA signing here for the Raiders, Devery Hamilton, offensive tackle from Duke, 6'9". That is just screams Tom Cable, 310 pounds. When you talk about a lot of these players that they decided to bring in, Mayock said they want guys that love football, that are intelligent, that are leaders. I have never met Devery Hamilton, but this guy, okay, listen to this, all right? Just listen to this. A double major in philosophy and communications from Stanford, and then he decided to go to Duke. Last time I checked, both of those schools are pretty damn good. All his teammates would say he's a very good teammate. Versatility on the offensive line is something that the Raiders are definitely going to be looking for. Smart player, and really curious to see how he's going to be able to transition to this team, but he could potentially make the roster. I'm going to give it only a one Chucky head chance of happening, though. Let's go to the next guy on my list, Max Richardson, linebacker from Boston College. This is one of those Mike Mayock going into the well, finding him where he used to, be. He has a lot of connections at BC. I believe that's where he went to college, right? 6 foot, 230 pounds, 2020, 99 tackles, 3.5 sacks. So he's been the starting middle linebacker the last 2 seasons for the Golden Eagles. And really, as another player, reliable tackler, good in short yardage coverage. I won't ask him to really cover somebody for longer than 2 to 3 seconds. And a team captain. Team captains, guys that absolutely love football. Some of the bad things here, probably just going to be a special teamer at the absolute best. And he's limited athletically. And when you talk about some of the other linebackers that this Raiders team have, you need somebody that can go sideline to sideline. Best case scenario, again, probably a special teams player. Let's go to Trey Ragas, 5'10", 230-pound from New Orleans. I'll tell you what, you want somebody that loves to just plow people over, that's Ragas right here. And you can look at the numbers, running back, 131 carries, 758 yards, the 10 touchdowns. But I also want you to look at in 2019, 820 yards, 11 touchdowns. 2018, 207 yards. 207 carries, over 1,000 yards. He reminds me a little bit of like a Vic Ballard, if you remember that type of running back. Going to turn 25 as a rookie, so he's a little bit older. I had a grade 7 grade on him, and I think this could be a sneaky player that could actually end up making the roster as a power running back. Though the power running back in today's National Football League, it is a little bit shaky. All right, y'all, if you're absolutely loving the mustache, I'm curious what you guys have to say about it. Hit me up on IG at MitchellRents365. I had a lot of fun over the weekend. We did a lot of different videos here, interacted with the nation a lot. I have a ton of DMs to get to, and I promise you, when I finally get a day off, I will go ahead and do that. We probably have worked, I'll say 45 hours over the last 3 days. Came in today. It's a half day here at Chat Sports. So if you have any questions about these UDFAs, if you have any questions about the NFL draft, follow me on IG. It's down there below. And make sure you slide in those DMs because I think honestly, if you sent a picture of me to somebody and you said I slid in that guy's DMs, they might question you. But, I'm here for y'all. DJ Turner next up here in these Raiders UDFA signings. When I talk about Turner, wide receiver from Pittsburgh, during his campaign at Pitt, caught 44 passes, 634 yards, 3 touchdowns. The reason why he was brought in, though, is not to be a receiver. No disrespect to him. He's a good athlete. He's got some good bursts, got some good acceleration. The way that he makes this team is as a special teams player. So listen to some of these numbers here, okay? 15 punt returns for 125 yards, and then 14 kick returns for 311 yards. So this earned a spot in the All-ACC first team as a return specialist, and he's a versatile playmaker. The Raiders want a lot of guys that have a lot of versatility, that have a lot of playmaking skills, and that's what DJ Turner is. All right, y'all, I'm going to ask for a little bit of help. So last year I had 2 UDFAs come on the Raiders Report, had an interview with them, talked to them. But you know what I want? I've already messaged some of these players, and I need your guys' help. So if you want to see some of these UDFAs, hell, if you want to see some of the players that we drafted in the 2021 NFL Draft, I want you to message them on IG. I want you to message them on Twitter. You can find their @handles. I'm sure if you just Google them, it's as simple as that. Now, don't be mean. Don't need to, get in there and, rile them up a little bit. But all I want you to say is, hey, go join the Raiders Report. It's an awesome show. It's the #1 most watched Raiders show. It would help out your brand a lot. Please, I want to get some of these guys on the show, so hit them up on IG and hit them up on Twitter. TJ Morrison, next player we're going to bring up here, UDFA signing by the Las Vegas Raiders. Shout out to Stony Brook. I got some friends actually that used to go there. I almost said that still go there, but then I remembered I'm 28 years old at this point. 5'10", 185 pounds from Yonkers, New York. I actually have some family out there in Yonkers. Morrison, savvy veteran. Secondary moving corner to safety, which is, again, what the Raiders like to see. I actually heard in an interview that he is a Seahawks fan. I know, don't everyone freak out at him, but the reason why he said he's a Seahawks fan is because he likes the defensive schemes that they've run over the past few seasons. Cough, cough, Gus Bradley, some connections there. Also, what I like to see, probably going to be a slot corner in the NFL, but the fact that he said that, hey, I don't care where you put me. You could put me at corner. You could put me at safety. He also said in the interview that he wouldn't mind playing special teams. Those are the type of dudes you're looking for as a UDFA. Next guy up here on the list, Shaun Crawford, 5'9", 180-pound cornerback from Notre Dame. Played 3 different positions during his time at South Bend, most recently spending time last season at the safety position. He's also played as the boundary corner position in addition to slot corner. Clocked a 4.47 40-yard dash time, which is pretty impressive, and he finished his career with 5 picks, 3 forced fumbles. Another player here where you're just trying to find a little bit of versatility, but just like in the draft, you saw a lot of these UDFAs have some secondary potential, can be pretty versatile. I would say for the 2020 rookies and for some of those other players in that second that didn't show up, Mike Mayock, Gus Bradley, they're coming for your job, so you guys better be ready to rock and roll this upcoming season. All right, y'all, so out of all 10 of those UDFAs, which one excites you the most? I want you to go down in the comments section and let me know. Because what you're trying to find is that next Alec Ingle, maybe a Keelan Doss, maybe a player that can really contribute, maybe not right away, but can show some upside, can be a solid locker room guy, and who knows, can be a player that actually has a pretty long NFL career. You've seen some successful UDFAs in the past, right? Like one guy I always think about is Tony Romo. He's a pretty solid player, right? Or a guy like Miles Austin. You can find some of these solid UDFAs a little bit later on. So go down in the comment section. Let me know which one excites you the most.